shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright.
Welcome to Unity Comox Valley. Thank you for being the light of the world. Thank you for expressing your light in any and all the wonderful ways that only you can do so. We are the light of the world, and even in these days, we can shine that light more brightly. It could be something simple like a wave or a thank you or a smile to someone. There's no lack of opportunities for us to let our light shine a little bit more brightly. I invite you now to bring to mind some experience that you've had recently, only because of this current situation. Some opportunity that has showed up for you that would not have happened unless we were in this pandemic. When I was thinking about this, two things came to mind. The first was my holidays. So, usually when I have a holiday time, Joseph and I do some traveling. And we had planned to make a trip to the Atlantic provinces in May and June. So, of course, that did not happen. And yes, I was disappointed. And I, slowly, using our principles, accepted that fact that we could not fly anywhere and surrendered to it. And what that brought about for me was the opportunity to explore what is it about my holidays that I love so much? What makes a holiday great for me? And I came up with 4 things. One is that I like to see something new. I like to explore. Another one was it has to be in nature. It has some aspect, some big aspect of nature has to be involved. The third thing was I like to learn about the area that I travel in, either some cultural or historical significance. And the fourth one was there needs to be opportunities for spiritual renewal. So, started thinking about, okay, so can't do plan one, plan A. What could I do that still incorporates these four things? And in August, Joseph and I took a trip to the interior. I saw many things I've never seen before. Beautiful rivers, beautiful geography, big sheep, what do you call them? Bighorn sheep, cactuses. We traveled in places that have a lot of historical significance here in British Columbia, all the mining and the different activities that took place in the 1800s. Spent a lot of time in nature, went for lots of swimming in different rivers and lakes, and had some time just to breathe and relax and be still and allow our kind of communion with Spirit to take place. It was the best holiday ever. What would have happened if I hadn't been open to possibilities? If I hadn't been able to let go and surrender to what is? This would have never happened. It only happened this way because of the pandemic. The second thing that came to mind was our guest speakers. Before I went on holidays, I connected with many of my Unity Minister friends, and you heard them for the 5 Sundays in August. Normally, we choose our guest speakers because they need to be here in person from people who can travel here or be here in the Valley. And so this now is an opportunity to hear speakers from really anywhere in the world and to enjoy the wisdom and the presentation and the experience and what they bring to their own ministries and to the topic at hand. So I hope you have enjoyed them as much as I enjoyed listening to them. So before we go into our opening prayer, I invite you to see if you can bring to mind some fixed idea that you have. Some idea that this is the way it has to be, it can only be this way. And entertain the possibility that something better could come into your life. So let's just take that into a moment of prayer. So we breathe into this moment, centering ourselves in the allness and the isness that God, that Spirit, that universal mind is. We know that we are one with unlimited potential, unlimited possibilities. And we do have the power, we do have the ability to let go of any fixed ideas that we have, any stuck places in our consciousness, and open ourselves up to the greater expression of good that is awaiting us, that surrounds us, that is already within us, and that we can invite forward. We give thanks for these opportunities. We give thanks for our willingness to open our eyes and see things anew. And we give thanks for the abundance that lies all around us, within us, and as us. We claim this is so, and so it is. Amen. This coming week, is Unity's World Day of Prayer. And we're going to be celebrating that here at Unity Comox Valley in person. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Right now we are going to have the daily word reading for today, and the topic is world peace. So I invite you to be still and listen to that reading, and then we will go into our next song.
Hello, my name is Joseph. I'm doing the daily word reading for today, for September 6th. I imagine a world transformed by peace and love. World peace begins within my mind and heart. Closing my eyes, I breathe deeply and envision every person bringing forth the love and peace of God. I see all the world's people surrounded by a healing light that transforms strife, anger, and division into reconciliation, peace, and unity. As I hold this vision, I see the entire world aglow with radiance. Harmony and cooperation heal the world's wounds and encourage love to flower in each person's heart. I carry this vision throughout my day. Divine love, expressing as me, sees oneness regardless of apparent differences. Divine wisdom and understanding illumine my thoughts, inspire my words, and guide me to act in ways that bring peace to the world. And from scriptures, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. I imagine a world transformed by peace and love.
Running around fixing this and that, giving it up to God and then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way, 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 get out the way, and let God do its thing. You look like the weight of the world's on your back. Just take a deep breath and cut yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change what is if you wanted to. So get out of the way, 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 get out the way, let God do its thing. Woo!
Oh, well, welcome back. We are now midpoint in our series on the 12 powers or our 12 spiritual gifts. And I just want to say up front, there are more than 12. Absolutely. People often ask me, well, what about joy? What about gratitude? What about prosperity? It's like, yes, all of those. So we know our second unity principle tells us that we are one with the one presence, the one power, the one love, infinite potential. So we have all of these things within us and they are all good. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, took some ideas that were circulating in the early 1900s when he lived, and he came up with this package of these 12 spiritual gifts. And he would be the first to say, if you can think of more, bring it on. Don't limit yourself in any way. Expand your awareness, expand your consciousness, and see and identify the other blessings, the other gifts that are there for you, and incorporate them in your life. As divine beings, we are unlimited potential. So far in this series, we've looked at faith, understanding, imagination, love, and strength. Today is divine will. So before we go any further, sometimes even if you hear that word or that phrase, divine will or God's will, before we go any further, I'm going to ask you to let go, see if you can let go, which is also one of our 12 powers, and be open to a new understanding of will. I'm pretty sure that many of us have heard the phrase, it's God's will, usually following something that wasn't good. Well, it must have been God's will. Let's just take a breath. What a misuse of this word. Brings no comfort, only more distress. This saying is based on an old paradigm that is that God is out there and that God is all powerful and that God is in control of everything that happens on this planet. Every hurricane, every illness, every accident. So if something happens, well, it must have been God's will. Did you ever study Greek mythology in school? We had all these gods and they were always like playing tricks on each other or getting in wars with each other or ganging up on each other. And every once in a while sending down some disaster on the people that were living on the earth. All kinds of calamities would happen. And the people who lived at that time believed that when something bad happened, that they had done something wrong. And that one of those unpredictable gods must be, angry or bored or something, right? Well, this is not the God we are talking about. God does not do things. God is not a person. God is a universal energy with no form. So let's see if we can let go of the idea of God's will, the idea that God's will could be anything other than love and goodness. I remember when I was studying to be a licensed Unity teacher, and I was at Unity Village. And I had a very long session in the prayer chapel. Thank goodness it's open 24 hours a day. Because I was really grappling with and struggling with what is God's will for me? What is my divine purpose? What am I here to do? What does God want me to do? And I finally got brave enough to ask that question, because all along I never wanted to ask that question, because what if God wanted me to do something? What if the answer was something I didn't want to do? Or something that was really hard? And then my life would just be miserable, trying to fulfill this divine purpose. Well, it finally dawned on me, probably around dawn. What is God's will for me? The answer could only be whatever was aligned with my passion, whatever brought me a sense of joy and fulfillment, whatever was in my highest good. How could my purpose be anything other than that? How could your purpose be anything other than that? It is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. It's everything we need, no strings attached. It's already ours. So back to the gift of will. First of all, let's be clear with all of these powers that we're talking about the divine aspect of them. When we heard about love, we were talking about divine love, not human love. When Kelly spoke about strength, she was talking about divine strength, not human strength. So what we are attempting to do is understand how we can rise above our human limitations and activate our divine nature, which is limitless and pure good. And so we too will look at will from this perspective, not our human will, which can be controlling and hard work. It can be wanting our own way, that kind of thing, which is willfulness. We're looking at divine will. Linda Martella Whitsett wrote a book on these 12 gifts, and it's called Divine Audacity. And she states this very, very well. Let me share this with you. There's the book. She says, divine will is not submitting my personal will to an invisible, superhuman being told through any other person what I should or should not do, subjugating my conscience or consciousness to any coercive influence, including religious dogma or imposed as a lesson or punishment. Divine will is our power of choice, commitment, and willingness. So let's talk about those three. Starts with choice. Nothing happens until we make a choice. We could be sitting down at the most amazing banquet of all these wonderful foods, and we will be hungry if we cannot make a choice. Let's widen that and look at all the possibilities that are out there, even now. We can look for them. We can long for something. We can be drawn to something, but they will not come any closer to us or become part of our life experience until we make a choice. Every choice we make gives us more information, which is always valuable to us. I had done Tai Chi many, many years ago when I was living in Victoria. And I signed up for the class, and maybe it was 1 or 2 years that I attended that class and really enjoyed it a lot. Then when I came to the Valley, I thought, oh, I should look, I'm sure there's a Tai Chi group here. And so I found a group, and I went week after week for about 2 months. And then it was like, you know what? That might have been perfect for me then, but it's not now. This is not satisfying or fulfilling to me in any way. And so I stopped going. A few years ago, I made another choice. I started doing yoga. And I find that that is a perfect fit for me. Making choices, really important, and that's how it all starts. The second aspect of will is commitment. Every choice needs to be followed by a commitment. Commitment sets a clear path for us. It allows us to rest and take a break from vacillating between indecision or between decisions. It's like, okay, I see my path now. Now I can let go of all the other choices and just focus on that. When we make a commitment, then we can wholeheartedly engage in it. When we started yoga, Joseph and I made a commitment to do our yoga practice every day for a few months. And now it's been 3 years. Some days I don't feel like doing it, but I do it anyway because it's a commitment. The commitment is to the path. There's no goal. It's not future oriented. There's no outcome that I'm looking for. The commitment is to being on the path, in this case of doing a yoga practice. The results are cumulative, they're progressive, and we're enjoying the benefits of our choice and our commitment. The third aspect is willingness. Willingness is a state of allowing. It's the opposite of willfulness. Willfulness is using our personal power to get what we want, to coerce or to control people or circumstances to get the outcome that we want. Willingness requires openness to spirit, to divine source, to stepping out of our own understanding and to opening up to something that's greater. Willingness is stepping outside, like I said, of our own understanding and listening to and being open to what spirit reveals. How many times have we thought that we had the answer and then something stopped us from acting on it? It could have been just a phone call or some kind of other delay. And in that little opening of time and space, something else was revealed to us that made us augment our decision or perhaps even change it or lift it in some way so that it was better than anything that we had started off with. It is really valuable after making a decision to leave a little space for something more to arise. I remember years ago I was creating a seminar to offer at one of our Unity conventions. And I was talking with a minister friend of mine, and I'm saying, well, I got the program mostly organized and I know that we're doing this and these are the handouts and these are the activities. And, there's just this one part that, I just struggling with. I just don't get. And she said, well, thank goodness. Where have you left room for spirit? You know, it's like you're not in charge of this. This is good to have something that you are not sure of, that you're open to, you know, being receptive to something else coming. I thought, wow, yeah, that's good. That's good. It's okay when we don't have every detail figured out. Leave room for inspiration, for God, for spirit to enter. Here's a question I hear a lot. How do I know if it's my will or God's will or divine will? And there's a simple answer to this. So long as you are seeking good to all and harm to none, you are moving in alignment with divine will. If nobody loses and no one is left without. So we need to call on our divine will all the time. It's how we move into our other powers. We can learn about divine wisdom, but if we're not willing to use it, it just sits there inert, like an unopened gift. Divine will is a great blessing. It is our ability to choose and commit. It is our capacity to open up and make room for a higher understanding. It is a decision to align ourselves with pure, unlimited potential. So let's prepare now for our time of prayer and contemplation. We're going to sing Our True Nature. So as we move into this time of prayer and contemplation, I invite you to take a deep breath. Feel that breath of life enter into your body and easily go back out. And as we begin to quiet ourselves and center ourselves, perhaps we can become so still that we can feel our heart beating. What an amazing organ this is. What an amazing representation of divine life this is. Our heart was beating before we were ever born. And here it is, beautifully, rhythmically, consistently, being the beat of life, what keeps us alive, what brings nourishment and oxygen and all good things to every part of our physical being. So just tune in for a moment to your whole physical being, from the tips of your toes all the way up to the top of your head. What an amazing thing this is, our bodies. The vehicle that we use to be here on the physical plane, to act, to speak, to move, to contribute, to help, to support. All of this is possible because of these amazing bodies that we have been gifted with. And now perhaps we've reached that inner state of stillness, of centeredness, that place that is untouched by the physical world. That is strong, that is vibrant, that is full of light and life, that is not dependent on our circumstances, not dependent on our age or the outshowing of our health. This is our perfect place of wholeness, of spirit, of universal mind, of divine source. Can you appreciate it? Can you be grateful for it? Are you willing to open yourself up to it, even more than you have perceived in the past? Because what we're looking at is unlimited source. We have not uncovered or discovered all that that is yet. This still place is our connection point with unlimited potential, with infinite good. With abundant supply. I am willing to see even more deeply, to experience even more deeply. I am willing. Let's hold that thought in the stillness for a moment. divine will is one of our spiritual gifts, our spiritual powers that we were born in and within. And so we align our personal will with divine will, with unlimited source, with all possibilities. And as we do this, we can see and feel that new opportunities present themselves to us. Resources we never expected. Blessings in all forms. My will is aligned with divine will. My will is aligned with divine will. Aligned with divine will, I make wise choices. Aligned with divine will, I commit myself to a path, giving my all to it, and allowing Spirit to support me and guide me and lift me on this path. Aligned with divine will, I am willing. I am open to possibilities, to new perspectives, for deeper understanding, for expanded wisdom. I give thanks. I am grateful. And so it is. Amen.
My true nature is a manifestation of the one intelligence, the source of all creation. My true nature is a manifestation of the one intelligence, the source of all creation. Your true nature is a manifestation of the one intelligence, the source of all creation. Your true nature is a manifestation of the one intelligence, the source of all creation. Our true nature is a manifestation of the one intelligence, the source of all creation. Our true nature is a manifestation of the one intelligence, the source of all creation.
Our true nature is a manifestation of the one intelligence, the source of all creation. That's a pretty powerful thought, isn't it? let's see if we can hold on to that as we go into our week. I like to reserve this space for messages from you. So please, if you have, it's kind of like our thought for the day. If you have a thought, an inspiration, something that you'd like to share, please send it to me at info@unitycomoxvalley.com so that I can bring it here and share it with everyone in one of our celebration services. So Lucia Brody sent in something today. For us today, it's a reading from Pema Chodron, and it's entitled, Be Gentle with Yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Gentleness in our life helps to awaken the heart. It's like remembering something. This compassion, this clarity, this openness are like something we have forgotten. Sitting here, being gentle with ourselves, we're rediscovering something. It's like a mother reuniting with her child, having been lost to each other for a long, long time. So thank you, Lucia. A thought came to me that just this morning that, we have 72 songs in our songbook, and we used to sing most of them, throughout the year. And if you would like to hear a song that is special to you or that you've really enjoyed, again, email me at info@unitycomoxvalley.com. Let me know the title of your song, or maybe even a few words, because I can probably figure it out. And then we can hear that, and I can incorporate it into our next celebration service. I invite you to bring to mind a blessing that you have recently received and hold it in your heart. It could be a phone call, it could be a smile, it could be a card, it could be a beautiful sunrise. Bring that to mind right now. And also bring to mind something that you have given recently. A warm thank you to someone who served you. A wave to your neighbor across the way. What have you given? For those of you who have donated to Unity Comox Valley, thank you. We know that we are in the flow of giving and receiving, and we know that as we stay in that flow, that we are abundantly provided for in every way. So with gratitude in your hearts and minds, would you please join me in our love offering affirmation? Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. As I mentioned earlier, we do have an in-person event coming up this week. So Thursday, September 10th, is the World Day of Prayer. This is something that Unity has done for, I tried to look it up, but perhaps somewhere between 80 and 90 years, to take the second Thursday in September and dedicate it to the practice of prayer. And so we are opening up our spiritual center between 3 and 7 p.m. on Thursday. The spiritual center will be open. You'll have the opportunity to come inside, to sit in the silence prayerfully. The prayer box will be there, so you can put in your prayer requests. We will have the Silent Unity Prayer Service printed out for you, so you can take that home as you leave. We'll be implementing all our safety protocols, so there will be hand washing, sanitizing before you enter the space, and a limit to 5 people inside. So when you arrive, someone will greet you outside, and if there's room, you can go on in and take a seat. And if there's not at that moment, we will have chairs outside there for you to rest and enjoy and start getting into that presence of the silence and the oneness before you enter the room. So I hope we see everyone there on Thursday between 3 and 7 o'clock. So lots of hours. It's drop-in. I invite you now to imagine that we're moving into our closing circle and seeing your friends across the way, perhaps exchanging a smile or a wave. I know that we are very much missing seeing each other in person right now, but I know that you can remember their faces. And as our closing prayer, I would like to share a letter that we received from Silent Unity. Dear friends in Unity, we know events of the past several months have required church leaders and congregants to rethink how to provide spiritual support. Home has become a sacred space. We have been honored to pray with you during this time of challenge and discovery. We hope your expanded concepts of church and home have been a source of comfort and have strengthened your faith in the spiritual connection that we share. As we continue to pray with you, know that in this moment we are connected. We invite you to spend a few quiet moments with us. Take a deep breath, let it out, and become still. Allow yourself to feel warmth and peace enveloping you. Know that wherever you are home. In your quiet sanctuary of prayer, you find healing, rest, and refreshment. As you reflect on the day or prepare for the one ahead, you are filled with resilience. Feel the gentle presence of all who are sharing the silence with you, and know that you are never alone. Our prayers will enfold you throughout the next 30 days. You can return to your sacred space, your sacred place at any time to rest and recharge. Know that we in Silent Unity and your worldwide Unity family are one in prayer as you follow your hearts home. Amen. Making choices was one of our elements of divine will, wasn't it? And maybe we could choose heaven. So we'll go and enjoy our last song, Blessings, and see you next week.
I'm choosing heaven today. I am What are you choosing?